I see. Welcome everybody to Love and Stuff. We are debuting for the second time a sports talk edition. My name is Kamau Williams, and my wonderful co-host here, Mr. Felix Holmes. We're here to talk all things sports, and we're going to in particular talk about the NCAA tournament, which is in full swing right now. Michigan State is playing against UCLA on PBS or whatever streaming service you may have. We've already had one game a little earlier where Drake beat Wichita State, which in a lot of ways people see that as an upset. But I don't. Only if Shaka Smart was still there, I would say it was an upset. He's at Texas and they're doing well. It just follow the tradition for Mr. Shaka Smart. But I'm glad to see that Wichita State gave up a good fight. But Drake, you like to see the little guys go, those mid majors that recruit and play tough. It's so much parity nowadays. Kids out there, everybody wanna be Michael Jordan, everybody wanna be LeBron nowadays, and put up 1,000 shots a day and dunk all over the place. And it's a lot of fun to see them. And you got to encourage these kids. You keep them off the street and they playing tough and they playing AAU. They playing all over the country. Everybody knows each other. And it's a lot more fun than when I played, where it was AAU, but it was still more regional than it was.
Right.
Right now, we got if you guys can see right there on the site, we have our tournament bracket information up. Come on and join us. It's the Love and Stuff bracket. Whether you're just picking numbers and picking teams or whatever it is, you pick them by the uniform. You pick them by who my friend went there, and I think that team is going to win. Go ahead and just go ahead and sign up. And it's more the merrier. It's not going to cost you a dime. It's not going to cost you anything to join. Just go ahead and come on in. And out of my own pocket, if you got whoever wins, I'm going to send you a baseball cap of your favorite team. Even if your team didn't win the championship, if you picked it right, whoever has the most points, I'm going to send you a baseball cap, or the kids call it dad cap. It's going to be a snapback. I can't afford to fit it. Those things cost a little bit much. But I want you guys to get everybody involved. We have a good amount of people that are in here, nationally and internationally. So whether you're here in America or overseas, and we have a lot of people from all the different walks of the world, sign up. Come on in. It's on CBS. Just all you need to do is just sign up, and you don't have to have a website, the app on your phone. Just go ahead and sign in, and so we can have something good to talk about. What you think, Mr. Holmes?
Hey, I agree with you, Kamau. I mean, just to piggyback on what Kamau said, if you pick it right and he'll buy the hat, I'll buy the T-shirt to go with the team that you got.
All right, I like that. I like that. Deal. I like that a lot.
Yeah, that's a sweetening deal.
All right. I know Marcus probably in the background going, "Why'd you buy a Love and Stuff shirt?" But
right.
This is sports related. Speaking of Love and Stuff, we do want to make sure we plug the Gratefulness Journey. Mr. Holmes over there has written his first book, and it is available on Amazon. You can go on the website, and like when you buy your shirts, you can buy a book as well. We want to make sure that we also we're going to make sure we put that link up on there. So get the Gratefulness Journey. I will be buying my book tomorrow, so I'm not just going to be talking on one side of my face. I'm going to be talking on the truth. I'm looking forward to reading this book. It's going to be something that I was a part of a little bit, but I wasn't, because they were doing the Gratefulness Journey every week, and I would chime in a little bit. But I'm very much so looking forward to reading this book. Of course, you want to support the people you know and love. You want to keep business in our community, and this is a great opportunity to do that. We've been talking a lot about that since George Floyd, in terms of keeping the black dollar in the black community. Here's another opportunity to support, as well as get something that can help you as well. That's something I'm looking forward to. And he also said he has another book coming soon, and we're going to support on that. Right now, it is a commercial break for the Michigan State UCLA game. Michigan State was up about 5 to 7 points last night I was able to look over the screen while doing the show, and that is an excellent game right now. Michigan State is fired up. They're arguing with each other, but it's not a negative thing there. They're keeping each other in check. Any coach will tell you when you don't have to you don't have to tell a player what's going on when your teammates are the ones saying keeping you accountable. You know you have a good thing going right there because if they keep each other accountable, you don't have to do it. You can just worry about putting up the next play. They tell each other, hey, pick him up. Hey, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. You can back up and say, hey, I feel a little bit more comfortable in this game right now. Whereas I don't have to yell at them and then draw up the play and then remind them what they're supposed to do when they take care of each other. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
And I like to see that, especially with the younger guys. When you see it in the pros, you know, it's a little bit more negative. All right, what do you now? We were talking a little bit off the air about who we thought was going to win it. What's your prediction, sir?
I went to the University of Kansas. I'm a Jayhawk through and through. That's my team. I think Coach Self, I think he's going to get them together. I think they're going to get right. But that shirt you got on, if they beat UCLA and he get them to playing right, they're a dangerous team. They up 7 now with 7 minutes to go in the first half. I mean, it's still a whole lot to be played, but if he get them in, he do some wonders in March. But I was talking to a guy earlier, a coworker, and he said, which is a true statement. He said, Tom will never win another national until he recruits guys from Flint. And if you look at the time they did win the national, everybody on that team was from Flint.
Yeah, there were 3-4 guys from the Flint area. I agree with you on that.
Right.
But but in order to recruit them, they had to cycle through again with a good crop.
Yeah.
So right now, just like it was always a cycle. The first cycle went to Michigan with the kid, the couple of those guys who went to the NBA.
Right.
He played for Michigan and helped them win their national championship. Second crop was the one that went with Michigan State. So we waiting on the next crop, and it's always a 15 to 17 year break in between there, basically the next generation. I'm hoping that'll happen soon. I like your Kansas prediction. Bill Self is a great coach. Michigan State has never been able to do anything with him, whether he was in Illinois or whether he's been in Kansas. Bill Self has had Michigan State's number. And Kansas has always been a solid program. Roy Williams was always there. He was always the bridesmaid, never the bride, until he went to North Carolina.
Don't bring Roy. Please don't bring
But Roy won 2 or 3 since he's been to Carolina. So you got to give his props.
No, because that wasn't his recruits. That was somebody else's recruits. So I
agree.
can't give Roy no props on that. Because we had some talent at Kansas. When Roy was coaching Kansas, and we couldn't get the chip. So I can't get Roy nah. I can't give Roy no.
Roy gets no credit.
I mean, he bought his pizza. He bought his pizza on Big Monday, but I can't give him. I remember that. No, I can't give him no props for that one.
I like Roy. He's one of those gosh darn kind of guys. Gosh darn it.
Yeah, when you got somebody else's hand. Yeah. It's always good. Always remember this. It's always good to spend somebody else's money. That's what he did. That's
true. He won a championship right in Detroit downtown at the at Ford Field, beat Michigan State, broke my heart.
Right. That's with somebody else's recruits when it's time for him to produce with. Did they even make the tournament this year?
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
What they get out? 14 seed or something like that?
It was just like a 9 or a 10.
But see, that's it. Okay, now when you get into the politics of college basketball, how does Carolina get in, but Michigan State got to play a play-in game? See what I'm saying? It's
was not surprised. I wasn't surprised at all they had to play a playing game. They with the season that they had being up and down the way they were a top 5 team in the very beginning of the season, beat another quote unquote top 5 team in Duke at the time before they took their tumble, and they beat another couple good teams, and then COVID came and they just kind of tumbled and they were up and down. So for them to get a playing game, I can understand them saying that because they want to say you need to prove yourself a little bit more to us. As we know you should be a tournament team, but are you good enough to even win a game in the tournament if we put you in? That's where they saw him as, and I wasn't upset about that. So we got an.
Come
I
on,
see we
they
have
beat 3 top 10 teams in the last 3 weeks. They beat Illinois, Ohio State, and they beat Michigan.
Yeah, they beat Michigan, and two of those teams have a number 1 seed. And two of those teams have a number 1 seed, and the other one has a 2 seed.
Right, but that's 3 solid wins, and then I got to play a play-in game. I beat the number 2 team in the country. They beat when they beat Michigan. They was the number 2 team in the country.
I agree.
So why should I have to play in and you put Carolina in? That's not fair, right?
Had they put Duke in and made Michigan State played in a playing game, then I would have been.
Duke. That's why. It's Duke.
Had they did that.
It's coach.
I see we got a comment from Miss Alexia Bartholomew. Thank you for coming in as a young lady and commenting on our conversation. This is a pretty decent barbershop conversation without the cussing. That's what I was kind of liking it too. March Madness is basically when the end of the season, after all the conference games and conference tournaments, the top 64 teams, quote unquote, go and play in the NCAA tournament. And there's also an NIT tournament, which used to be the top tournament before the NCAA came along with the big old sponsorship. The NIT was the tournament up until about 60s, the late 60s, early 70s is when the NCAA tournament itself became the big tournament. But we're glad, Ms. Boston. And I would encourage you, whether you're a sports fan or not, go ahead and open up that bracket and just make yourself make a bracket. And we want to see if we can get you a hat and shirt from your favorite team. All right, let's see here. My prediction. I'm in trepidation to say it, but even though I'm a big state fan, I pick Michigan to win it all. I think they have a good enough team. I think this might be their time to do so. You have a team unlike Roy Williams, where this is pretty much Juwan's guys. The guys that Beeline had, most of them are going to maybe 1 or 2 he brought in. The big freshman, he got the transfer, and they're playing well. And they did lose twice down the stretch, but when you come to that emotional high, you win that big game tournament by 29, almost 30 points. It's gonna take you a second to rev that engine back up where you were before. But I got a feeling they can do it. And the reason why, because not just Juwan, but he got his culture staff is very underrated. He got one of the top recruiters in the Midwest, and Howard Isley come out of Detroit Southwest High School, Southwestern, and Pella Middle School, where he and I were schoolmates and played against each other. We were the same age. He went to Boston College for basketball, played in the NBA for a bunch of years. Great guy, very, very underrated as a coach. One day he'll be a very good coach of his own team. So I'm just glad to see that we got people coming in. Let's see here. Let's see, Willie, how you doing, sir? Love Jones, how you doing? Let's see, Willie. If you could, I don't know if you can type it in or we can try and get it from you. Who's your team? Who you think is gonna win it all, sir? While Willie's bringing that in, we have an update on the score. Michigan State is up by 12 with 4 minutes and 23 seconds left in the first half. It may be a little bit further along depending on where you are. A lot of the time, if you're watching it on cable, there's a bit of maybe a minute to 90-second delay. If you it is on cable, so I'm pretty sure you'll be able to just see it at that point anyway. I don't know if the feedback is that from my side, your side. I think it's my side. Let me turn my volume down a little bit. Is that better? Did you hear the feedback?
Let me see if I can. Maybe it was
I'm getting a little bit of feedback. We don't want to hurt anybody. I thought you said you're a USC fan. I'm not for sure if they are in NCAA and NIT. I do like them for football and basketball. I've been more of a football fan for USC than basketball. But when you see them doing this with the USC, with the helmet and the and those cool colors is pretty good. My first ever college football game, I saw Rodney Peete play against Michigan State in '86 on Labor Day. That Monday night at Michigan State, my dad was a part of the union for AT&T. Actually, I think it was still America at the time. And we walked in the Labor Day parade down Woodward, and when we got on the bus, we drove out to East Lansing, and we saw Michigan State beat USC on their road to going to the Rose Bowl that year. And Rodney Peete was a quarterback, and he just needed a little bit more help. It was just him pretty much by himself, in my opinion. But he was slinging that ball around that night. So I can see why you would be a USC fan. And basketball, I'm trying to think who's been good for them in basketball at USC. It'll come to me in a second. Outside of the movies.
Yeah, Harold.
I think loving basketball. But I know some real people. Harold Miner, that's right. Baby Jordan. They used to call him Baby Jordan.
Baby Jordan. He won the slam dunk contest in the NBA. He dunked 2 basketballs at the same time.
Yeah, I remember Harold Miner. Ball head guy with a lot of muscles.
They had a lot of muscles. Michael Jordan said, "Don't call him Baby Jordan." They was calling him Baby Jordan. He had everything. He had the number 23. He wore a little thing on his ankle. On his calf, like Michael and everything. And Mike said, "Stop calling him Baby Jordan." Yeah, Harold Miner played for the Miami Heat.
He wasn't in the league very long. He played about 5-6 years, if that many.
He made enough money to buy.
And he was about it. Hey, I ain't mad at him, but that was still at the time where they weren't getting the big contracts, but they were still good money.
Absolutely,
still good money. You're not getting money like they get now. Everybody on the team make $10 million a year now.
Right, absolutely. But just
Isaiah said that many years ago.
Just to make a correction for you, Mr. Kamau, you stated earlier
okay.
that you got Michigan winning it all. I think you need to backtrack that. Look, like I said when we were talking off here, I commend Juwan for coming back and coaching. Ain't that going nowhere, man? It's fools go. It would be nice, but it ain't gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
Well, I'm already picked him, so I'm gonna stick with him.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with my first mind. But I do like Illinois too. Illinois is still pretty strong.
That ain't going nowhere neither. If Kansas knocks off if Kansas knocks off Gonzaga in the 8, that's who's gonna win it. But they already played earlier this year, and Gonzaga beat them. But the tournament is a whole different animal.
Yeah.
So if Kansas knocks off Gonzaga, KU gonna win it all.
It's hard for me to think Gonzaga gonna win it all. They play so great. In my opinion, they don't play anybody in their league. They're always strong.
You play who's put in front of you. You can't fault them for the.
I agree.
You play who's put in front of you.
But I think that's what hurts them come tournament time because they don't play those stronger teams in the regular season. They play them in the preseason. They always play a good preseason schedule. But if you're not playing that same type of intensity night in and night out in your conference, it's hard to play those tougher games at the end of the season than you played in the beginning of the season. So that's why always the Big Ten have a lot of players, a lot of teams that at least get to the round of 32-16. SEC has been getting better at that. The Big East's been doing it for years because they beat each other up all winter. Here come March Madness time. A lot of those teams start to advance because they play every Tuesday, Thursday, Monday, Thursday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday. They playing. They on the bus and they playing tough teams. Where Gonzaga, I couldn't tell you other team in their conference other than Gonzaga.
Right. You got to look at it too. You have to look at it too. Okay, here's a killer point. 2 years ago, Virginia got ousted by 16. The following season, they came back and won it all. So that's what I'm saying. It's any given week, any given day. But I agree. They play in the WAC, which is not a real tough conference, but they play who's in front of them. So
they can't control that. I agree.
Right.
This is KJ. He always like to come on and show himself when I'm out on the screen He's just like me. Just want to show out a little bit and be a little silly. If this ain't my son, I don't know who he is. Look at him. You see, this is fun to him. All right, son. Since you're on the TV, on the screen, a part of the show, who do you think is gonna win the national championship?
I don't watch sports.
Well, you're part of it now. You gotta make a prediction. Who do you think?
Someone good, probably.
Someone good.
I don't watch sports. I need music.
He's a musician. He plays the guitar. He every year he's gotten about 3 guitars in his life. And I told him if you didn't learn how to play it this year, I was gonna take it from him. This was last year. I told him I was gonna because it was purple. I said I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna be the next Prince. Now he plays, and he does a good job. He has an acoustic and he has an electric guitar, but he plays that heavy metal Headbangers Ball back in the day on MTV on Saturday night.
Metal is I choose deathcore.
Okay, I've just been corrected. If you didn't hear that, he plays deathcore. What that means, he plays it. That's all I know is he plays it. Mr. Peak, let's see, Alabama. They have a good chance as well. They're likening the Alabama coach to being a young Rick Pitino. I've been even being in the South. I'm surprised I haven't seen Alabama play a full game. I've seen Alabama play a full game. I've seen them play bits and pieces because I always get a lot of the SEC games. This being Texas country, Baylor's 45 minutes away from me, so I get to see a lot of those games down here, especially in football. LSU, I'll see those games every week. Oklahoma, I'll see them every weekend. I get to see those, especially in football and basketball. Not so much though. It's more national for basketball than it is regional, probably because they haven't had as much success. And I got Texas, which is just about as far away from as Baylor, and they're about as far away from each other as they are from here. I do like that program, especially since they got Shaka Smart. I was really excited to get them. I was hoping that Shaka Smart would have stayed a little bit further longer at Wichita, and when Tom Izzo retired, that we would have got him. But that didn't quite work out. I think Shaka Smart may win at least 1 or 2 before he retires. I like that guy. Yeah, I like him that much. I know you're saying really. I'm not hearing you. Did you turn your volume down?
Wait, hold on, let me see. Can you hear me now?
There you go.
Okay, are you 1 or 2 what? National championship?
Yeah, I think Shaka Smart can win 1 or 2 national championships. And here's why. You now down here in the South, they put their money where their mouth is. And for the most part, they shut their mouth when they give kids that money. The kids that take that money, shut their mouth. The kids in the mountain are the ones that be quiet. So when they recruit them football players and they get that hush money, they spread a little bit now to that basketball department, especially at Texas. Because you see how quickly they got rid of that football coach, they're gonna want to start seeing basketball look good as well.
You do realize Texas is in the same conference as Kansas.
Yes.
You do realize that, right?
Yes.
So you have to go through Kansas to get to the national championship.
Not necessarily. Depends. They could be on opposite sides of the bracket. They could be in the same bracket. Somebody can lose a little before the one person or the other.
No.
You never know.
You're going to have to go through Lawrence.
For the conference. For the conference. I agree.
Do you know what the streak is in Kansas winning the Big 12?
Oh, what
this year?
It was 15, 16 in a row?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're going to have to go through Lawrence.
I don't disagree with that. I'm talking about the national championship because that's when you put everybody together any given day, any given, a shining moment, last second shot. Yeah, so that has a whole different element to it.
Right. Shaka hasn't tasted that. Selfish.
Well, he hasn't won it all, but he's been at least to Sweet 16, almost at least to the grade 8 when he was at Wichita State. That's
they knocked off KU.
Wichita State beat Kansas?
Yeah, Wichita State beat Kansas.
But he was the coach then, so that's why one of the reasons why they brought him to Texas, because he brought a good resume.
That was Wichita State. Texas ain't about it.
I can't hear you, Gil. I don't know if you got your phone, down.
Wait a
I can't
minute.
hear you.
Maybe I need to turn it up. Okay.
Even if you turn it sideways, we'll still be able to see you. That'll let the microphone be open.
Okay.
There you go. It's done.
All right. There we go. Okay.
There you go. Big score update real quick. Halftime, Michigan State 44, UCLA 33. And we're at halftime of this game. And I'm glad to see the Spartans are doing well. Let's hope, knock on wood, that they continue going in the halftime right now. The first commercial's going out. Back to the Texas conversation. You're right. In the conference, they got to get through. They got to get through Rock Chalk, Kansas, Rocky Top. They got to do it. I agree. But when we get to the big bands, it's everybody against everybody. It's not just the 2 or 3 teams who be decent in that conference. Oklahoma's been decent lately. Texas is on the rise again. Kansas has always been there.
Right.
So Oklahoma's been up and down a little bit. Last time they were up was when they had the boy they just left the Pistons, and then they had the kid who play for Atlanta now, the curly haired kid. What's his name? The point guard.
Yeah, I forget his name.
Yeah, he's in.
Yeah.
He was there at Oklahoma.
You're talking about Young, Trae Young.
Yeah, Trae Young. Yeah. So they're good teams in that conference, in the Big 12, basketball wise. But Kansas is definitely is the cream above them all. And they worked hard to keep it that way. And I give them all the props. And Bill Self, when they floated the fact that he was leaving Illinois, when they float that stuff out there. It's almost a done deal. Like right now, they float Pitino to go to Indiana. And so when they start floating those stories, that pretty much means when this season's over, he'll be in Indiana. And they talk about him or Beeline going to Indiana. If Beeline don't sign before the end of the tournament, it'll be Rick Pitino going to Indiana. Because Indiana likes winners. Bobby Knight had them spoiled. Even when he wasn't winning national championships, he was still pretty much in the hunt for trying to win the Big Ten and make it to the tournament a good percentage of the time. It was what they wanted. They hired the kid that came out of Marquette, the one that's at Auburn now. That was Tom Izzo's best friend. He got it done for a little bit. He had Oladipo. Oladipo graduated, and then they went by the wayside. All right, let's see here. Final 4 predictions. Let's see here. I'm trying to find where I sent. I got to get the board up so I can see my board, so I can make sure we get my predictions out here. Because the next time we come up will be March 28th at 11 a.m. Right, when our next show.
Yeah.
And
so
that is the week. That's Palm Sunday. We'll be here, and so we want to make sure that we're advertising that as well. We want to make sure you're coming back for that. And once again, don't forget we got the brackets. Make sure you go in and take care of your bracket. Get that up about 10 a.m. The first game start right at about 10 a.m. in the in the East. And so get up early if you don't have to work. Get up and watch the games. I know my one good buddy, every year he has an NCAA party, takes off Thursday and Friday. With this year, it would normally be Thursday, Friday. The playing games are normally on Tuesday. But this year they moved it back because they would announce it on Friday and then on think of my son again. Samson. Ow, don't do that. Hey, Samson. He was asleep. He gonna wake the dog up to come and put him on the screen. Nah, he gonna be messing with me. So make sure you get your brackets together, get up and enjoy yourself. I know Elgin in this is he always make his wife mad by bringing everybody over to the house. He'd be about 25 guys out there watching basketball, skipping work. But for my Final Four, I have Gonzaga, Michigan, Baylor, and Illinois.
Baylor, and Illinois.
Yep. Baylor's been pretty much consistent number 1 team all season. They've lost 1 or 2 games all year. Right behind Gonzaga's undefeated. and Michigan and Illinois. So I like that, and I like Baylor and Michigan in the championship game. And I have it. My prediction is 79, 77, Michigan. That's my prediction. That's what I have it all the way through. That's my prediction.
So in other words, you see a parade down Woodward with the U of M banner and all that.
If they parade down Woodward, we got a problem. That'll be an impromptu.
Okay,
That'd be an impromptu parade.
My final four would be let's see, Baylor, Gonzaga. No, Baylor, Kansas, because Kansas is gonna knock off Gonzaga. And then I can't put Michigan there. I can't do it. What was the other one you said? I picked three of the same what you picked. You said Baylor.
Yep, Illinois, Gonzaga, Michigan.
I'll go, okay. Baylor, Illinois, Kansas. I don't know who that third one, that fourth one. It won't be Michigan, but it won't be.
Well, Michigan's coming out of the West, is it? No, they're coming out of the East.
Right.
And so you got the number 2 seed is Bama. The 3 is Texas. 4 seed is Florida State. The 5 seed is Colorado. 6 seed is BYU. So those are your top teams, the top 6 teams. 7 in that bracket is where is it at? Where is it? UConn. 18. The 8 team is LSU. St. Bonaventure's the 9 team. The 10 team is Maryland. 11 team is the playing team. The 12 is, where are they? Come back here. Georgetown.
Whoever wins the Michigan State UCLA game plays BYU.
BYU, yep.
Right.
Yep. I got whoever wins that game beating BYU.
Oh, man. The more and more I try to come on your side, the more and more you push me away. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you, man.
Well, I'm really looking at it as Michigan State playing that game because Michigan State can definitely beat BYU.
See, we don't even know if they're gonna beat UCLA.
Well, they're up 11 right now, so we're gonna knock on wood. We're gonna leave it. We're gonna say Michigan State. Right. I don't want to be too presumptuous. We're gonna do it like that.
Okay, that's him away. Go ahead and take an next 10.
All right. Mr. Peak said that he left you a compliment. He said he's a musician. You're the man to push in that field. If you want to mentor him, if you're good with music, Mr. Peak, I'll let him talk to you. I'm definitely going, whatever you want to do, I'm gonna support this young man. I tell him that all the time. As long as you're doing something, you gotta do something. Don't do that, but don't do that. He's just showing out. This is my big boy. He's 14 years old.
246 pounds.
See, look at that. That's when you raise your kids to use their voice, and sometimes you can't turn it off. All right. Say Alabama for Antoine. Tell me about Alabama. What you like about Alabama?
That's a football school. There ain't no basketball school. You coming up short picking Alabama. For football, yeah. Basketball, no. One shot a moment.
Well, that's like Baylor. That's like Texas.
No, but
Alabama.
Baylor is a football school also. Texas is a football school.
Football school.
That basketball school. Everybody, it's like this. Cinderella had to be home before midnight. If she didn't get home before midnight, she turned back into what? An ordinary person. This is what these teams are. Every year somebody's going to step out the mold and just be like, oh, like you said, if Shaka Smart was still at Wichita State, they wouldn't have lost to Drexel. You know what I'm saying? This is why we love the tournament. Because you go, like you said, the mid majors, somebody's going to come out and be a surprise, and somebody is going to go home. That's why they show one shining moment at the end. Somebody's crying, somebody's happy. But here's a prime example. The 1 year Michigan State came in a number 1 seed. We got popped to East Tennessee State. East Tennessee State ended up losing the next round. Michigan State at home. One shining moment.
Yep.
So
I remember the first team to do it.
School. That's it. That's all it is. A football school.
Yeah. You remember the first team, the first mid major to be famous doing it?
The first mid
Cleveland State.
Cleveland State with
back in the 80s.
Okay.
They were the first team, the first mid major to go far, and everybody was excited. And they were doing stories all over the place on them. I'm like, Cleveland State,
right?
Who's that? But they went to almost to the Final Four.
It's like when Michigan State beat Indiana State with Larry Bird. They was like, who?
Yeah. Yep.
That's all they had was Larry Bird. They had nothing else. So
it's
going to be an interesting tournament.
The hick from Fritz Lick.
Right, the hits from Fritz. That's right. Yeah.
I know. I like to go back and watch a lot of those interviews with guys that played against each other in the era, and they say, no doubt, the best trash talker was Larry Bird. They said he would talk about you, talk about your mama, tell you gonna shoot the ball. They said I'm gonna shoot it right here in your face. 3, try and guard me, try and stop me. He would come out of the play, out of the huddle, the coach would draw the play. He said I'm gonna shoot it right here. Right in your face.
I was watching on Facebook the other day. He won the 3-point contest without taking his warm-up jacket off.
Yeah, he did that here in Dallas.
Yeah, he did. I was like, wow. Look at that.
They talk about that all the time on Sports Talk Radio. How he was in the locker room before that. He took a beer and shotgunned it. And ran out of the locker room. They wouldn't have won the contest.
Right. Yeah.
They talk about that all the time. Let's see. The other playing game. Norfolk State beat Appalachian State 54-53. Is that NIT? Yeah, that's it. The other playing game. So those are HBCU teams that are in the tournament now, and we have another team that's made it in, getting ready for their possibly Saturday game. I like the fact that they moved it back, where Tuesday used to be the playing game at another site,
right?
But now they do it Thursday in the same building where they'll play Saturday against their regular opponent, so that cuts back on the travel. I like how they do that. But everything's going to go to Monday now. So it's instead of Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, now it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Where the first weekend ends on the Monday.
Okay.
Yep. First weekend ends on the Monday, and I like how they do that.
Okay.
But we are getting close to wrapping things up. We want to thank everybody that came out tonight. Remember, get your bracket done. 1, 2, buy the book. Get the Gratefulness Journey book. We're gonna put that link in here along with the link for the brackets. And 3, come back on the 28th, and with us in that Final Four weekend, so we can see how far we've gone. We'll have the numbers. We'll be able to see who's in the lead at that time, and maybe we get the people who are in the lead to come in and join us, and see what they want with the prizes being. I'm gonna furnish a hat for the winning team. And Mr. Felix Holmes, what you gonna do? You say?
I say I'm gonna do the T-shirt. Whatever team he picks, whatever team you pick, and he buy the hat, I'll buy the shirt.
We gonna get you together. We gonna eBay or whatever it is, or what's the other service that send everybody something that you can easily send something to people? Amazon. Whatever you pick. Or even if it's just off the website for the school. You pick it, we're going to send it to you. We want everybody to get involved. Tell your mama, tell your sister, tell your grandmama. Grandma like basketball, too. My grandmother liked basketball. She said, ooh, the men's are sweating, and they run up and down the court. So get grandma involved, too. Everybody grandma like Matlock.
Right. Everybody grandmama like Matlock.
All right. Thank you guys for coming up today. coming out this evening. I know it's well into the nighttime in the east, and it's still a little early for me here in the central. And hopefully we got some West Coast folks too. We're still kind of early for them. It's about 8:25. But enjoy yourself. Have a great evening. Be safe, and we shall see you soon. Thank you, Mr. Felix, for coming and joining me. This is going to be a lot of fun. I see this now.
This
This is going to go to be something crazy.
Absolutely.
We're gonna get together and get our notes together moving forward, and I can see this just being crazy. I know this is sports talk. We have to come up with a good name with this and get everybody to come in and come on here and talk drunk with us and have a good time. Have a great evening, everybody. Say good night, Julian. I will thank you, sir. Have a good one.
All right, you too, man.